right, so now let's talk about how to post a form onto Google Classroom and why there are so many options and what the best ones will be. So first you need to go to Google Classroom. I'm going to select my example class here. Okay, so you'll see that there's a stream that always comes up first. Okay, so this is where it's a great place to make announcements to your students. Okay, you can even select multiple classes here or even select certain students within this class here that you make an announcement to. You can add a Google form this way. You can even link it if you want to. Um, okay, so let's say I just want this form added, so I'm going to add that. All right, so there's the form. So what this is going to do is actually give the students a chance to view this form. You will still get feedback from them, but please make sure that if you do it this way that you also collect their email addresses or their name, something like that. Make sure that you type something here, and then you can post it, or you can schedule it, or you can just save it for later and then just post it later yourself. So that's one way that you can post a form on Google Classroom. Of course, you only want to do this, use this stream for announcements. Otherwise, it's going to get really jumbled and confusing for the students. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that. And it also does not allow you to attach a due date there. All right, so I'm going to go to classwork tab. This is where everything that needs to stay nice, neat, and organized. You can create topics here, and that's what this is. This is a topic. And then here would be a doc or material with assignments. So you can add a form any way here except topic. Okay. Topic just gives you a title so that everything is nice and neat and organized in your classwork section. So if I choose an assignment here to create, I give it a title. It's optional to provide instructions, but it's always a great idea to tell your students what to do. Right here, you can add a form that you have already made. Okay. And it recognizes that it's a form and it's asking you, do you want this locked in locked mode on Chromebooks? It also will populate grades because it recognized that it was a quiz. I selected make this a quiz and there are points associated with it. So it will automatically import grades into Google Classroom for you to look at. And you can select locked mode there or not. Let's say that I want to just create a new form. Then I would go here, create, and it's going to populate a new form there. I can select which classes receive this. Let's say I select more than one, though. I'm going to show you what happens there. Now I cannot select specific students. Okay, and I also cannot schedule this for later if I select more than one class. So I'm going to change that. Now, since I'm only working within one class for this, I'm going to be able to select individual students for a particular form. So this is great for differentiation or personalizing a learning for somebody. You know, you might want different levels of a quiz that you give out with modifications or anything like that. So you would select specific students that would receive that there. The point values, you can just leave as 100 points if you're doing percentages. And then the due date, this is great because you can select a specific due date. Okay. You can even select a certain time of day there. All right. And then you'll want to select a topic to put it under so that's not just floating in Neverland there. And you can assign a rubric, but this would be more for another type of project maybe that you're doing. You wouldn't necessarily need this for a form quiz. And then originality reports just looks for any plagiarizing. Okay, so then you would just assign it there. So that's one way that you can create a form assignment. Another way is, okay, let's say I want to build a quiz. It does everything exactly like assignment, except it already pulled up a blank quiz form for you to edit. You click on that to edit it. Okay, it already knows that you want this to be a quiz. So it's already marked as quiz and it's already set to these automatically. All right, and then you have to actually build the quiz after that. And it will update here immediately. So you can either build one in a new assignment here, or you can build a quiz assignment. And literally the only difference is that it automatically adds a blank quiz for you to build instead of you going in and selecting create form. That is the only step that is eliminated. Everything else is the same. Okay. I want to delete this. It's bothering me. All right, so let's say that I'm going to do a question. All right, so I can type my question there. I can add a form from my drive here. I can also create a form that goes with this question, but it's not the best for an assessment. The question is already asking a question, so you don't necessarily want to attach a form to it. But you might, maybe your question is, please fill out this question survey, and then you've got the attachment to a survey in there. Material is another way that you can add a form or create one from scratch again. The difference here is that it's not going to collect grades on the students automatically. It's not able to have a due date assigned to it. All you can do is select the class or the students and the topic, and that's it. So again, maybe for a survey, you might want to do that. Okay, and then those are the ways that you can add a form to Google Classroom.